Listening to the new WCEG Network on WCEGTalkRadio.com. Watch us live on your smart TV, on YouTube, on the WCEG Network. I'm Wardell Richardson, your host, right here for the next hour on WCEGWood, the Hollywood of the South. We're your worldwide empowerment group where we speak life into the community. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and on Instagram at WCEG_talk_radio. That's WCEG_talk_radio. And WCEG Network. That's WCEG Network. Last but not least, the topics and opinions are those of the show hosts and guests and not those of WCEG Network. I am Wardell Richardson, actor, producer, director, writer, multitude of different things, host of WCEG Talkradio.com on WCEGWood, Hollywood of the South. I'm also the CEO of Rain Dance Films, so it's going to be some big things about to pop off with my film company. I'm excited about it. Been working on a few things for the past month, and it seems like it's about to pay off. So you got to pay attention to me and go to Rain Dance Films. My fan page for Rain Dance Film. Go check me out. The lovely Penny, who is the queen of WCEG, works with me on my film company. You'll see her on there. So make sure you go and check me out. We got a lot of great things about to pop off. A lot of films, TV series, all kind of stuff. So I'm excited. This year is going to be tremendously immaculate. That's my new word. That's my new word for y'all. Tremendously immaculate. So I have a guest on here, but before I get to my lovely guest, make sure you go and check your boy out on Amazon Prime. I have a few movies on there. Addiction by Subtraction, Greed, Flesh, and the 30-Day Rule. I just found out that a movie came out that I did some years ago. I didn't even think this movie was going to ever happen. It's called Rabbitous. It is on Tubi TV. So make sure you go check that out. Go to Tubi TV and look up Rabbitous, and you will see an incredible movie. And see if you can figure out what character I am. It's that type of movie. So I love it. I watched it the other day. It was pretty dope how they put it together. I didn't think it was ever going to come out. You know, in film, you just don't know. You know, you do films and you keep it moving. And then you think, hey, wait a minute, what happened to that movie I did a few years ago? And lo and behold, it came out. And I did that movie with the incredible Rodney Perry. So make sure you go check it out. It's Rabbitous on Tubi TV. The other thing I want to talk about is some weeks ago, I went to Africa and I was out there for a while. I had an incredible time teaching the kids about film and TV, social media. They are the most humble, beautiful people I've ever met. And they treated us with so much joy and welcome. And it was just the most incredible experience I've ever had. And they want me to come back again, probably in February next year. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure I get back out there. But they also have a link to their website, which I got to get. I haven't spoken to the woman who invited me out there, but I will get that link and we will put it somewhere on the WCEG page where you can go and give money to the mission that I went to teach. They definitely need stuff to happen. They have women doing hard labor, man. I'm talking about hard labor, which they wouldn't have to do if they had certain machines that could operate certain things. But they be out in the field in the hot sun, pregnant, working. I just was like, whoa. Like I had a whole new respect. Like me, what I'm doing here in Atlanta don't compare to what they're doing out there in the fields every day just to eat. If they don't work, they don't eat, period. That's just the way it is. So I think everyone should take a trip out to Africa just to see the culture and experience, especially Liberia, because Liberia is that country that's still kind of behind the times a little bit. But you will learn a lot. You will learn a lot about yourself and where we are here in the U.S. compared to where they are there, and you will have a whole new respect for everything that you have here in the U.S. I'm not complaining about nothing anymore after that experience. So with that being said, I will have a website that you can go to, and you can go to the link in the website and you can donate money to the mission. Now, so I have my guest is someone that I met a while ago, and it's an interesting story on how I met this woman. So I'm doing this. I hire someone to do a domestic violence film for me. And we do the film, and I'm supposed to do a certain part in this movie where I am supposed to hurt this woman. And I'm supposed to like smack her or hit her in the face or slap her or something like that. This woman would not turn her head. Like, she wanted me to really smack her. And I'm just like, will you turn your head? So I would go across and I would move my head like this. And the director like, man, what are you doing? I'm like, it's not me. She's not turning her head. Because I didn't want to hit this woman. And it was the funniest thing ever. It took us forever to get that done because she wanted me to actually smack her so that she could get the effect of it. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. But introducing my friend Amber Monique. What is up?
Hey, look, you got it done though. You was like, I'm gonna hurt you. I was like, trust me, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move. It took a while. You kept breaking character. I got a video of Al yelling, "Don't break character." He was like, I think she hurt.
Man, that was, I was like, man, she won't move. So, and Al didn't believe me until you went and he tried to do it with you and you didn't move. You're like, wait a minute, you gotta turn your head.
I'm a move. I'm a move. Right time.
You're a tough little cookie, man.
I give you what you needed, man. It's telling some stories like that. Sometimes you like, you know what? We got to really see what it feel like.
Yeah. You're a tough cookie, man. You're a tough cookie. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Amber Monique, how are you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm tired. I am very tired. I had an ER episode yesterday, so I'm a little tired, but I'm good. So,
well, I mean, I've been seeing you doing your thing, man. You're a comedian, singer, actress. Like, you are really moving. And before we get into all that, let's give people a little history of who you are. Like, where you from? And if you're not from there, how did you get there?
This is a funny question that people ask me because I always tell people everywhere, and it's confusing. So originally Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
Raised up until like 6 or 7. We moved to Memphis.
Okay.
For a while, and then from Memphis we moved to Houston, and then from Houston I graduated high school, and then I went to college in Atlanta. I went to Clark Atlanta University. Shout out HBCU.
Okay. Clark Atlanta.
And then I just kind of, back and forth between LA, Atlanta. I lived in Baltimore for a year, which was amazing. I love living on the East Coast. But yeah, so all those places have formed me in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So yeah, I'm a mixed breed.
So you wound up going to college here, and you didn't want to leave. What made you stay in Atlanta? Because you could have went back anywhere after a while.
I mean, I left. Like, I only lived in Atlanta after graduating. I left maybe a year later.
Okay.
Then I went back to Houston, and then I went to LA, and then back to Atlanta, then to Maryland, and then back to LA. So
I know, because after that, me and you kept in touch, and you would be in different places. I'd be like, man, you get around.
I was everywhere. I wanted to live in New York. That was on my list. I just didn't make it out there yet.
You're a national traveler, for real.
Nomadic lifestyle is the lifestyle for me. If it makes sense and I think I have opportunities there, I go. And if it's not, I try to make it happen wherever. But I'm in LA for now. Like, I'm here. So.
Gotcha. So eventually you got into, and I'm asking because I don't know which one came first, singing, comedian, and actress, which one came first?
Singing definitely came first.
Okay, so is that one of your your biggest love, or?
I really have. That's difficult, I think, because society is like, oh, you got to focus on one thing. You got to do this. You got to do that. But you have musical theater where people act and they sing at the same time. So I think there's an equal amount of love there. But I've been singing since the day I came out.
Really? You got to explain this one.
I've been singing. That was just, I don't know. Like, I started singing at 3. Like at 4, I was performing for family. My mom would turn on the music and I'm like coming out of the closet. And like, if the music wasn't right when I came and did my grand entrance, we got to start over. Like we got to do this thing again because this performance has to be right. And that was at 4. So from singing and then doing talent shows, I just grew a love for acting. I love movies. I love reciting movies. Some of my friends will not watch movies with me because I will recite every line. So those two definitely first. Comedy just happened in October of 2021. So that's the order: singing, acting, comedy.
Okay. And so you started singing. You say you were singing since you was 3. When did you ever want to take it as a go mainstream with your singing, or did you just?
I did. I did. That was a tough spot. I really I wanted to perform, and for the longest I would tell my sisters, I'm gonna be at the BET Awards next year, and that didn't happen. I'm gonna be at the BET Awards next year. That didn't happen. But I will say it's very difficult if you don't have a team. Especially the area that you're in, if you're just a woman independent artist, and there are a lot of different experiences that can happen with you being a young Black woman pursuing a dream, especially with music. You go into the studios, you're there late at night, and it just became a little overwhelming for me because I feel like I wasn't as in control. Like I can, write, I can sing it, but when it comes to, production and engineering and management and marketing and, it's a lot that goes into that. So I still very much so would love to sing. Like I still sing.
I hear you singing Whitney Houston a lot. Is that your favorite singer?
When you hear me sing her?
On live. On your Instagram.
She is one of my favorites to sing.
You said, wait, when you hear me sing?
It depends on who the artist is, really. Like I like to challenge myself vocally because sometimes I shock myself because I don't really know what I can do, because sometimes I feel as though I'm afraid of my voice. So I like to do
You afraid of your voice?
Yeah, because it's shocking. I'd be nervous a little bit. Like people don't know, but I get nervous. Like I get the shakes and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I'd be nervous.
Because you do it so naturally. Like I look at your IG pages and I'm just like, man, this girl can read. Because I remember when I'm like, damn, she can sing too. I had no idea.
My legs be shaking, but I do it. I'm one of those people, like even if I'm scared, I'm gonna do it. Like even with me moving a lot, that's emotional, because you leaving family. You're like, is this the right decision to make? But it's, what I'm saying, it's just something in me that's like, no, it don't matter if you sweating. Sometimes people get a little gas when they get nervous. You just do it, and then once you do it, it doesn't really, the nervousness doesn't go away, but it subsides, because whenever you're performing and you're sharing your art with whoever is around you, it makes me whole, so the nervousness kind of subsides. It's still there because you like, will they like it, or won't they like it? But definitely being able to, share that gift and thinking, okay, maybe I'm gonna touch somebody, somebody feel where I'm coming from or whatever song I'm singing. But I challenge myself. Mariah Carey, I'll do Whitney. I'll even do Tina Marie.
Okay.
I'm dibbling dabbling with vocals.
those are some powerful singers though. Like you taking it, because I heard you sing and I'm like, man, you really sound good when you sing those different. But You know, everybody can't sing Whitney. You know what I mean?
Some people can, if they put themselves in the right key, I think. You know, everybody I think that tries to emulate Whitney cannot.
There you go. Okay.
You know, but I think if you are comfortable in your range, then certain notes might change a little bit. But if you want to sound exactly like her, no, nobody, I don't think anybody can sound exactly like any of those singers.
I agree. But you know, some tough cookies right there. Those some tough cookies, and you killing it. So, but I think I get what you're saying though. You make it your own and stay in your own rhythm instead of trying to emulate them exactly.
Yeah.
That what you're saying? Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Now, what genre of music do you like? Is it R&B or alternative?
Ooh, every genre. Honestly, whether it's R&B, hip hop, jazz. A lot of people know about go-go music. That's in DC. I sang in a go-go band when I lived in DC, which is a it's its own genre in itself. And I recommend go-go singers because that's really hard because you have to project over the bongos, over the guitars, over the piano, you know.
Wow.
But man, that Afro beats, country music, I just New Orleans bounce music. I just love music and the rhythms. All of those things for me is like music is music. I feel like if you love music, then you have to respect and love the art of it, even though it might not be your favorite, but the way that people can create those sounds and put them together and they not only make you feel good on the inside, but they make you move on the outside. I think those people are amazing. So I just have a respect for all of them.
Man, you say you did go-go dancing. That is hard to do because you moving and everything too, along with the dance.
Sometimes, I mean, go-go, you got a little rock, you know, while you singing. It's a little, I don't know. That go-go, I think out of performing, that was probably my most entertaining and freeing time because go-go is just free. Like you just going with whatever you want to go with, but you got to make sure you sound good though, because if you don't, that's it's gonna mess up everything.
So, and eventually you got into acting. So when did you decide that acting was something you want to take up?
After mocking every movie I saw. I don't even remember making a conscious decision to get into acting. It was just kind of as though I just was, you know, like it just flowed together. It was like, this is who you are as a person. And I think people sometimes get acting confused with pretending. I enjoy the spiritual journey of using those things that I'm probably ashamed of or things that I don't want the world to see. I can use those experiences to portray another character and tell somebody else's story and really, you know, immerse myself in that particular character, which is somebody else's story. So I feel like when you are able to let go of who you are and use your vulnerability to express somebody else's life, I think that's amazing to do. And it's fun, you know, like you start acting like somebody else in front of a group of people, they trying to put you in the hospital. But when it's on camera, it's okay. So yeah, it's kind of happen. I want to say maybe high school when I took theater and they kept, it's going to sound really cocky. I'm not trying to be cocky about this, but when you are an individual that is always in the front, it kind of just, it's like, you know, you have those gifted people in school. You like, she's talented, or this guy's going to be something one day, or you have that energy. And I had a lot of, especially growing up in Memphis, we went to all Black school. We had a lot of teachers that just pushed us, you know, to do different things, whether it was dance or theater. Pushed us, but I was always in the front. Like if you see any pictures from back then, like I'm in the middle. If you had a, what's it called? You know, that when your kid has a performance, what they be calling them?
A recital or something?
Like recitals or different pre-K events.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
I was always with the microphone, but I wasn't fearful, you know. So I was just there, and I just have always felt like there's more for me to do. there are more people for me to touch. And those ways of singing, acting, and now comedy are ways that I can share my story and help other people, because that's really what.
Did you always want to be in the front, or did they always put you in the front?
I'm a Leo. So if you're in the zodiac signs, you know, I think a part of me is like, yeah, I really wanted to be in the front, but I never asked. They were just like, "Am," and I said, "Okay." I just okay. You give me that mic, you know, like I got it. What you need me to do?
Now, have you done theater? And okay, and what do you like better, theater or film?
Both.
Okay.
You give me a stage, give me a camera, give me an audience. Don't give me an audience. Whatever. I don't know. It's something about being on stage. But
I feel you.
Even when you were filming TV, that's still kind of like a stage. It's just not live, you know.
Right.
But both gives me an opportunity to express myself and be in front of a crowd and just share my talents. Like I don't feel like I can pick. You know, for me. I know people like movies are my favorite, TV is my favorite, theater is my favorite. Historic wise, I definitely would I would go with television.
Okay.
As far as like
that's me. That's me too. Yeah. I like theater. It's just, for me, theater is time consuming. So you have a lot of rehearsals. You have to, you know, schedule that time in. It's time away constantly, several times a week until the show. Then you have the Trek week, which is you got to go to rehearsal every day that week before the show. So it is a dedication and a commitment to do theater.
Theater builds character.
It does.
You don't have no room for mistakes. And if you better learn how to cover them up, and hopefully your other cast members are able, because you got to keep going. It ain't no stop.
It ain't no cut. I tell you that all the time.
That builds character, because you have to know your lines. You have to. And there are a lot of rules when it comes to upstage, downstage. Don't turn it up to the crowd. Project your voice.
Project,
Woo, but it's fun.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. And I always tell people, you know, if you get into acting, try theater, because theater is a lot harder to do than film. In film, you can cut, start over, try it again. But in theater, once you hit that stage, once they say the lights go up and that curtain open, it's it.
And I think that for creators, entertainers, I honestly, even if you don't want to be on stage and do theater, I feel like you owe it to the art as a whole to at least not study it, but read up on it. Because without theater, there is no TV and there is no film.
Right.
Without the writing, like just playwrights are, I think, the most intricate people in the world. Now you have some like film writers and TV writers that are amazing. But when you get into like Macbeth, you be confused. You like, what is thou and this and who is this and stuff like that. You like, you got to use. It's like it's mental to me. Theater is more mental stimulation than like film and TV.
I agree. What's your favorite genre of film? Why do I feel like you're gonna say horror or something?
I do not do scary movies. Do not.
You don't?
No.
Would you want to be in a scary movie?
I would, and I would run and fall and scream and hide, whatever you need me to do. Fall off a bridge. I'm going to go with like sports and action are my like.
Action? Okay.
Yeah. So Fast and Furious, Bad Boys.
Right.
Like that, Transformers. Avengers. I love the Avengers. I'm an Avenger fan, you know, rocking Iron Man's colors. He was my favorite Avenger. And then sports. Remember the Titans is one of my.
I love that movie.
Oh.
Love that movie.
Camaraderie. Movies where you understand that there's a deeper meaning behind what's in front of the camera. Though I get so excited. You know, like I just get I'm like, oh, they about to hit them. They about to win. I can watch that movie a bazillion times and I'm still going to get the same feeling from it. Like each time I take away different, you know, all these movies have different lessons, but those are like my top two. Then comedy. And then I'm going to have to go with drama. Romantics and drama are at the bottom. Not that I don't love or like that, but I'm just, I'm a crier. I ain't trying to cry, you know.
I get you. Yeah. So how and when did you get into comedy? Because now you on stage doing shows. I'm like, man, this girl is doing it all. What made you get into comedy?
Remember when I told you it was just kind of if people say it, I do it.
Right.
That's how that happened. I moved back to LA and got introduced to a friend. He actually went to Clark, Atlanta. And he wrote something on his Instagram and I reached out to him. I'm like, how you know that? Because it's only you ain't saying that if you didn't go to CAU. So we ended up being fellow alums and he's a comedian. And we met, we had and he was just like asking me what I wanted to do, what I was interested in. And after, you know, just talking to me, he was like, you should try comedy. And I was like, I'm not that funny. I don't, no. Y'all can have that. That's not for me. And he was like, you should really try it. I think you're funny. I'm like, I don't think I'm funny. He was like, no, you should try it. 2 days later in the same week, a girlfriend of mine said the same thing. She said, you should try comedy. I said, My sisters call me Cricket, and that's because nobody laughs when I tell jokes. That has been the story of my life. Y'all not about to embarrass me in front of more people. I'm good. And then a third person said something to me. And I just kind of took that as, okay, I'm going to try it. I didn't think it would be so soon. Like, say, for instance, that conversation started on a Monday. I made a decision Friday and met a young woman on Friday that was hosting a comedy show on Sunday. And so we were standing there and my friend and introduced me and told me he was trying to, you know, I was getting into comedy. And she said, oh, I'll put you on a show. It wasn't even an open mic. It was a show. And she was like, send me your headshot. She said, if you show up, you show up. If you don't, you don't. I didn't have anything written down. I didn't know the rules of being on stage doing comedy. I didn't know anything. But okay, I was nervous, but still even being afraid, I did it. And after my first show, I did like 7 minutes. Excuse me. There were so many people coming up to me afterwards asking me, like, are you sure this your first show? Are you sure? I was like, yeah. And I guess I was good because I just kept getting booked. So then I started studying. I mean, to jump into a different realm of entertainment, there are great artists. And, you know, you got Cedric the Entertainer, you got Bernie Mac, you got Kevin Hart, Adele Givens, some more, D-Ray Day. Like, and there is a tremendous amount of us that have been doing it for years. And if I'm going to jump into that lane, I need to know my history of comedy. Like, I need to know who was there, you know, before me. Richard Pryor, you got to watch, you know, like, I feel like to pay my respect to those that came before me, I got to study it. I have to learn how to write, how to structure a joke, when to do a punchline. So it was something that intrigued me. And the fact that people really thought that I was funny about the stuff that I was talking about, I'm like, I guess I'm about to keep doing it. So that's just really what's been going. And it just kind of, you know, I think when God has certain things aligned for you, you know, I was nervous about coming back out here, you know, just trying to pursue a career again after, you know, going through finding out I had diabetes and having a near-death experience with that, being fearful that I couldn't. So for me to come once I, you know, it was like, you need to go and listen. And I just left Atlanta and I just went. And within a week of me being here, I got into comedy, you know, along with everything else. And it's just been going and going and going. So I think when you listen to your spirit and you follow where your heart is telling you to go, everything is just going to fall into place. So that's what's been going on with comedy.
Wow. How do you prepare? Because first of all, I have to congratulate you and give you kudos on being bold enough to stand up and get on this, because that's hard. That is hard. I know that's hard because you got people out there in the audience. You got to entertain these people and make them laugh. And then you get hecklers from time to time and all kinds of crazy. I've heard all kinds of stories. But you get down there and you do it. I be hearing people laughing. I said, "Shit, man," because it is funny. What you be saying is funny. How do you prepare for a show like that?
I don't. That's the problem. It's not even I write certain things, excuse me. I write certain things down. So if something happens, I write it down. Or if I remember something from a while ago, it's just really like, what do I want to talk about? What do I want to tell these people sitting in front of me? And how confident can I say it? So that really, I think comedy has a lot of confidence in it because it's
right.
I've learned from everybody that I've studied or that I'm like following. It's not what you say, but how you say it. You know?
Yeah.
So my preparation is really just writing the ideas down. And then now I'm getting to the point to where I'm learning how to write jokes. I'm structuring them. At first, I didn't know that. So the preparation, I just look at the paper. Really, before I'm like, okay, how much time do I get? That's a big thing. You got to know how long you're going to be on stage because what jokes you going to tell have to fall into that time frame. So it's really that, like, what jokes are this long, this short? Where am I going? Okay. Certain crowds respond to different jokes. And yeah, I just start looking at my list. So now my preparation, I would say, is just writing, just putting down the different ideas, and you can always elaborate on those jokes. So that's really what I do. But life is my preparation. I think for a lot of other comedians, because they just talk about what's going on in their lives currently, what's happening to them. So that's
right.
Waking up every day is preparation for comedy.
So let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. When you get to singing, and I'm going to start from singing, I'm going to go back to singing for a second. What has been your biggest challenge in singing?
The fear of my voice. I know, like, I can pretty much sing whatever. You give me opera, I can do opera. You give me jazz, I can do jazz. I sing instruments. If you give me a song, I can sing that song, even if it's just the instrumental. I'll use my voice to mock whatever those sounds are. So that, for me, has been the most challenging part. That and having, like, a team. I feel like if I had a team and I had the marketing, you know what I'm saying? I could put out an EP. I could put out an album. I could put out some singles.
But the biggest marketing you see like so far is social media.
But there's a lot of stuff that goes into social media and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
You have algorithms.
Yeah, that is true. You
have to pay. You have to know what people are looking for. I mean, anybody could just get on Instagram and sing. I mean, you can keep doing it, but I think it takes the right person to find you and, be like, hey, you have something, I'm willing to either help you, introduce you, put you around the right people, stuff
invest in you. Yeah.
So that's the hardest thing. But I have a vocal coach, and she's actually been helping me a lot with breaking out of the fear, because that's an actual thing, being fearful of your voice, of what you actually do. So I'm just learning.
You're the first person I ever heard say that, fearful of your voice. So when you say you're fearful of your voice, are you fearful of how far your voice can go, or like, I'm trying to understand that part.
Confidence thing, like, say if somebody's learning how to dribble a basketball, a kid doesn't feel anything about the world around them. They gonna dribble and they gonna think that they're the best at dribbling, even if it's not the best. I think when we get older, we're more concerned about what everybody else feels about how
that is true.
Things, instead of I literally have been telling myself, kid mentality, adult personality, because kids are free. Kids don't care if your kid can't sing, they gonna sing that song and they gonna think that you know what I'm saying? If they want to jump off of something, they're gonna jump. So the kid mentality is like, be fearless. You know what I'm saying? Like, attack whatever it is you want head on. But when it came to music, I always, had that doubt, or, you're a bigger critic on yourself than others are. you know, so just me like, girl, let go. You know what I'm saying? You could do it.
Right.
And yeah, because when you know that you have been holding back and that you can do more than what you show the world or the people that you've sung around, that to me is like I'm, you know, afraid of my voice, like, ooh, I can really blow this out of the water. It's like, well, do it. So
That is true.
yeah.
So what has been your biggest fear in acting? Your biggest challenge in acting?
Acting challenge. One thing I can say about acting is you really think that every role is yours. You know, when you audition for something, you think I'm gonna get
Yep,
the role. You know, acting
that's true.
is a very interesting place to be in as well because you mentally have to prepare for 1,000 no's. With singing, I can get 1,000 yeses just off of agreeing I can sing. Right? When it comes to
Uh-huh.
acting, 1,000 people aren't going to tell you you're a good actress or you did that well. They're not going to say that. Sometimes, and when you audition, they don't say nothing. They thank you very much. So you in acting have to have your own confidence. But for me, it's just auditioning. Honestly, you be getting tired of like, ooh, I done did this audition. Okay, I done did this audition. Okay, I done did this audition. And then before that, it's submitting. Those casting directors, producers, directors, they have to want you before you even get there. So I don't
Right.
think I have a fear of it. It's just that's just the obstacle when it comes to acting. You know, you're gonna go in here. There's a possibility you may not get it, but the love of it is like, okay, I'm gonna come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
You
keep.
know, that's funny because I had to get past that. When as an actor, you get into this, you know, you go to auditions, and then if you don't get picked, you feel like, were you bad? Did they think you were this? Did they think you was that? And it get to a point to where you just say, okay, either I get it or I don't. You know, it's kind of like after you've done it for so long, you start understanding that a lot of times it's not even about you. It's about something else that they got going on. And, you know, I had went to an audition one time and they didn't pick me because they thought that I deserved more than what they were offering to pay. And I said, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah,
You
I was
know?
like, pay me. Put me in. Because like, I don't want to hear that. To me, I'm like, I'm gonna do this. You know, like because
That's the thing. Like,
though, like I feel like it matters. Not in every situation, but people want to see a real.
yeah,
If you aren't performing, you don't have no real. So
yeah,
I mean, there are different ways you can, you know, do a monologue, tape yourself, and use that as your reel. What a lot of people have been doing, but that's why I like doing comedy, and that is something where I feel like that can also help my acting career because every time I hit a stage, I'm auditioning. I don't know who is this LA. You can go to a hole in the wall. You can go to a major comedy venue. You don't know who's in those places. Every time
right,
I hit that stage in my mind, I'm auditioning. Not even to just be a comic, but I do a lot of like male voices, and you know, I just
yeah,
play around with it. So I enjoy comedy because that helps me, quote unquote, audition more, and then I don't have to submit to audition. You feel me? I could just get on
gotcha.
stage, and it's like you may not have wanted to see me audition because I ain't submit to you, but you gonna see me today. You gonna you
You
gonna
you've also worked with some popular comics doing skits.
who you gonna want?
You know what I'm talking about. You've done some stuff. How was it doing skits? You know, a lot of people do, you know, they see stuff on social media
Mhm.
and they become fans of certain people and what they do and the skits that, you know, they do. You know, people like Country Wayne and
Mhm.
Desi Banks, you know, all these famous people who just grown what's his name? Or the one with the dreads. Can't think of his name, but he's really popular too. El Hodge. And so
I work with El Hodge a lot.
that's it. Yep. And so
I
how was it
I
working on
love El
set?
Hodge. I love him. He is such a great person. I mean, he's just so honest and real, and he actually cares about what he does. I mean, shooting skits is fun. It's very fun because it's just doing whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't know. It's kind of the same as film. It's free. Um, but it's an opportunity, for people to create their own. So anytime an artist, invites me or would like for me to be a part of shooting, I'm very appreciative. I enjoy it and I have a good time. And I treat that as if I'm shooting, an actual film or, on a TV show. I think everything deserves 100%, no matter if you're getting paid or not, whether it's for YouTube, Instagram, um, TV One, Paramount Pictures, everything deserves your full, energy behind it. At least for me.
I agree. I feel like you shouldn't do anything if you don't put your all into it.
I can't see you.
I'm sorry. I feel like you shouldn't do anything unless you put your all into it. Yeah. And to me, I think a lot of people, they do stuff and they hope that whatever they do takes off right then and there. Like it's a one-hit wonder type of thing. But with a lot of the things that we do, especially in acting, you have to be consistent at it and keep going at it and start getting notoriety, and then you start gaining followers slowly but surely. Would you agree with that?
Tough thing for me. I'm not really, I will say this as an artist, right? Sometimes it is difficult when people are just throwing anything on the internet when it comes to skits. It's difficult because I think I speak for all actors when I say this, because all YouTube creators are not actors. They're not trained. So I think there sometimes is a mental war when you think about actors that are actually trained, they're skilled, and they're really amazing. Their talent is beyond what anybody could think of, but they audition, and because a YouTube creator and they probably aren't as good, they get it because of their followers. To me, I think that sometimes that's unfair because now it's becoming followers over talent.
Right.
And that's just being honest. It's not bitter. It is what it is. Either you get with it or you
right.
Don't. But I think in certain situations, it is kind of like I got to get 50,000 followers just for you to put me in something.
Yeah. Right. It done got crazy. That whole thing done got crazy. That's the first thing they look at as soon as you get cast for a big project or something, to look at your followers.
Yeah, but sometimes, I mean, there are some really talented actors out there, and even if they don't have a lot of followers, once you put them in that film, they're gonna get it.
Yes, they will.
They're gonna get it, But
right.
But everybody is talented, no matter if they're trained, or not. I just feel like sometimes I be hearing some people, friends and stuff, talk. It's a little beef between social media creators and actors, because some actors don't create YouTube content. They don't do things for social media. You know what I'm saying? They post pictures, maybe that they're having an audition, but they're not into that realm. I like to do both because it gives me an opportunity to perform. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Would I feel some type of way if I start crying in the audition and I didn't turned into, I don't know, Whoopi Goldberg, or I'm really in character, and somebody else doesn't give the best performance, but they have more followers? It's a little salty. It's even more, it's like an additional sprinkle of salt on top of you just didn't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They put hot sauce on it or something. You be like, dang. So you ain't tell me if I had a couple more followers that I could have got it, stuff like that. But all in all, I enjoy the hustle. I enjoy the pain, the sweat, the tears, the moving, the fighting. Because if nobody's gonna fight for your dream, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't gonna fight for it, ain't nobody else gonna fight for it.
I agree.
I just keep the mentality, like, even sometimes if I feel like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, or I'm not doing enough, or somebody should see me by now. It's just like consistency is key. You can't give up. You have to really, you gotta want it. Everybody says you gotta want it. You have to do what you can do and trust and believe that whatever you feel in your heart is for you, you'll get. And so that I just keep, I don't know, I just keep going.
I hear you. I hear you. Now, I didn't ask you what was your biggest challenge in comedy. What's been your biggest challenge in the comedy realm since you started?
I don't really have a challenge. I mean, learning, I guess, just
Okay.
wanting to um be more ahead in something that I just started than I am. So just
Okay.
be more patient with myself, feeling it's a lot. There are a lot of places where you could perform, a lot of places where you could do open mics. And I'm very hard on myself, like I'm an athlete.
Right.
It's like go hard or go home. I used to do my teammates push-ups. Oh, they in trouble. It's cool. They don't like doing push-ups. I got them. Like
Right.
I want to be more educated when it comes to comedy, right? Like
Yeah.
better, the desire to be better. But it's just like, girl, slow down. It's okay. You feel me?
But
Like
you got a talent though, because you said that you don't even prepare for comedy. You just go on stage and just whatever.
I really don't think most comics prepare. It ain't to me. When I've seen a lot of people do comedy, people don't study for comedy. It's really nothing to study. It's either you have it or you don't.
Right.
The preparation is knowing your material and writing. You can write down if you want to talk about something you think funny happened. Okay, going through security at the airport. Some people just write that on the paper, and when they get up to perform, they gonna remember what happened at the airport, and they're gonna talk about it. Then you might elaborate. Oh, I forgot this happened, and then you just add on to the paper. But
Right.
I don't think they're studying that paper because you can't study life. It's either
Right.
this happened to you and you can talk about it and it's funny, or it's not.
Okay. Okay. What so if let's go back to acting. If you could work with anybody, like somebody opposite somebody on film, who would that be? Male and female.
Oh God. That is a tough one. I for sure am going to have to go with Samuel Jackson.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with Mr. Denzel Washington.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to go with Mr. Will Smith. I know you told me one, but those are the three male actors that I would love to be on the opposite.
Okay. And female?
All of those, I think they pull.
Yeah. Those some powerful actors.
They gonna pull. You think you pulling, but they will pull from you. And I just think when you have those experiences, that makes what you do that much better. And for my women, I gotta start off with Taraji. That's my favorite actor. I just love her story, her personality, her energy, her hustle, her being. I actually had an opportunity to audition for her. I took one of her classes, and that was absolutely amazing. She's just real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For me to be a young Black woman and to have somebody that looks like me, who's fearless, you know what I'm saying, taking over Hollywood, doing what she got her star, like her. Then I gotta go with Regina King.
Yeah, you pulling out some hard, heavy hitters.
Both of them are going to pull from your soul. You know what I'm saying? And Regina King, her story is, if you know where she started and then you see her earlier career and now she's directing, she's a producer, she's writing, like those women are powerhouses. There are a lot more, but just off the top, because I could name a whole lot of them, but for me, those individuals have inspired me to continue to do what I do and to keep going and to eventually be like, I could be a boss director too. I went to school for it. So I know that I can do it and I see it in them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. When you do film or TV, Do you have anything? Because some people, when they get certain movies, depending on the character and stuff, they go and they have to do deep research and study. I think people like, because you brought up Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington have I think a 180 question breakdown or something like that he do for every character that he does, backstory and everything. How do you prepare for film and TV?
The same. I don't have a 180 question survey, but one, it's like surface wise, who is this person? How old are they? You ask questions about them, like a date. I pretend I'm dating this character, whether it's a woman or a guy. What do I want to know about this person?
Right.
That will help me embody them to know where I am in there.
That's a good analogy.
Because all of those things, some of it you have to create. You know what I'm saying? If I don't have no arm, I'm gonna have to pretend like I don't have an arm because I can't just get on stage and be without an arm. There are a lot of amputees in the world, and you getting up there and you haven't tied your arm behind your back for a little while to see how it's like to maneuver with one. I feel like you're doing individuals a disjustice, if I'm saying that right. Yeah. Because you aren't taking the time to understand them. So I ask all those backstory questions, and then if they're not written and I can't figure them out, then I create it based on the storyline or what the film is about, film or television show.
Got you. So do you feel like the industry is tougher on women than they are men?
What do you mean? Like
is it harder for women to get the roles than it is for the men to get the roles? Because a lot of people, our history dictates itself. When it comes to women, it's been consistently proven that they get paid less than some of the men that play opposite them, or some of the white women that they go against. I'm talking about as a Black woman. Do you feel like the industry is harder on you, or do you feel like it's opening up since, these powerful women have opened the gates for the other people coming through?
I think it's opening up. I don't really, for me, I try not to think about that.
Right.
I try not to think about things until it happens.
Okay.
Naturally, you think about the NBA and the WNBA. The men get paid more than the women.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything has always been men get paid more than women. Not that it's okay and that, you wouldn't want it to reform and hope one day it could be equal or on the same playing field. But I mean, for me, it just is what it is. I'm not worried about how much you get paid versus how much I get paid. Maybe I'm, Beyonce level, Taraji level, that's going to matter because I have the credentials
to prove.
This is who I am. I have a name. So you're not going to pay me just anything. But for me now, I ain't worried about how much you pay me. I'm more about performing and getting able to showcase my talents to the world. And when I get to that level, when I feel like that matters, then I'll worry about it. But I don't. It is what it is. I think equally, as Black artists, we have it harder. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a men and women. I think it's an unfortunate racial thing. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you look at breakdowns, you like, oh, I can fit this role, and it's like white woman, or mixed ethnicity or something like that. Like those are the type of things. Like I'm not mixed, but I can play this role. You know what I'm saying? So things like that. But I just think it's, how it's always been.
Yeah.
You think about early television, Charlie Chaplin was white. That was Black and white. There wasn't no really Black actors on the screen back then, It was in black and white. So I think it's just evolving and it's growing, and I'm blessed to be a part of the evolution of acting because there are a lot of us being showcased on television right now. And
that is true.
Part of it. Like
that's true.
I want to get in where I fit in. And I'm just like, I love just, all of the Black shows with Black actors being created by Black people and all the Black producers, like you guys, y'all are Black, y'all have your own show. Like that's a big thing to be able to be Black and do it and do it amazingly. Like I'm just trying to get in where I fit in, really.
I heard that.
I ain't worried about nobody else's pockets but mine. Okay.
You know what? I agree with everything you just said. I'm so busy worrying about, well, not even worrying, just enjoying myself and my journey through this whole thing, because it is a journey and you go through some stuff in this industry. But I love all of it. I love the ups. I love the downs. You don't want to love the downs, but when you really enjoy what you're doing and stuff happens, it's easy to brush it off and keep moving because you're enjoying what you're doing.
But you know what? Even still, one thing I will say when it comes to, I'm not sure about comedy because I'm still learning, but definitely with acting and singing, when those downs come, I keep them. I hold them because when I'm singing for myself, but I know that the power that I have in my voice, I can heal somebody else or I can give somebody else something that they need by me singing, because I'm sharing those hurts, those pains, those vulnerable moments where I feel like I'm failing. When I sing, I'm giving the world that, not as a pain, but as an instrumental sound of peace coming out of, because hurt individuals sing and it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's very interesting what pain inside of a person comes out as when you're expressing it in a talent.
Gotcha.
So and I'll hold on it to dwell on it, but just it's like, you know what? If I'm gonna sing a love song, I got some heartbreak up in this song. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna sing it, and you gonna feel it, and you gonna relate to me, and hopefully you hearing the pain in my voice and how I'm still expressing it, and in a beautiful way, it helps you become better in some way.
Amen to that. Look, we got 3 minutes left in the show. You're amazing. I like interviewing you. You be doing your thing. With 3 minutes left, can you give the audience a bit of advice? Like if somebody in the acting realm, singing realm, comedy came up to you and said, how do I do this? How do I get started? You know, what kind of advice would you give them?
Really, one, to start.
Yeah.
People don't. They will, I'm gonna do it. Well, maybe, and then start. It's a lot of different, now the internet, everybody says that there are a lot of different avenues where you can find out. There's not really a right or wrong way to start, honestly. So for music, I would say just sing.
Yeah.
Just sing. With acting.
Right. Would you say the same thing to somebody who's down and feel like giving up? Like what would you tell them?
Oh my gosh, listen to Black Butterfly. I mean, it's by Denise Williams. That is a song.
Okay.
If you feel like you're giving up, that song keeps me going. And
gotcha.
The lyrics of that, I actually have a tattoo of it, but it's it says, tell your sons and daughters what the struggle brings. And then it's basically saying, Black butterfly, set the sky on fire. You know what I'm saying? Rise up even higher so the ageless winds of time can catch your wings. That song in itself is like, listen, you may be a little caterpillar right now and you may feel like what you're doing isn't enough, but you are worth trying for. And
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let what people say or what you hear affect how you follow your dreams and your own heart. And it's easier said than done, you know, to focus on yourself. But I would definitely tell them, you know, like everybody says, don't give up.
Right.
But even with the struggles that I've experienced, I've learned that getting over those struggles and continuing to pursue my dreams, even though it doesn't really happen as much as I wanted to, that in itself keeps me going. Because there's one little thing positive that'll happen. Don't want everything that happens to you to be positive. Accept anything that's negative, don't dwell on it, but hang on to those little possible steps, because all those possibilities will eventually grow a ladder, and that ladder is going to lead to the door that opens up the career for you.
Amen. Well said. Well said by Amber Monique. Amber, how can people reach you on your social media? What's your social media platform?
So I have IG and TikTok, and it is at Just Amber Monique. So it's the @, and then Just Amber Monique. So some people think I just be trying to be funny, but no, Just is in front of my first and middle name. So, and it's
Thank you, Amber, for your time, for coming on the show. You were awesome. I enjoyed interviewing you. You know, much respect and success to you in everything you're doing. I love watching your comedy. And in fact, I told you, I said, next time I come to LA,
yes,
I gotta come and see you perform. And I gotta come out there. I'm gonna be coming out there next month, actually. So
I have some shows next month, so
cool. I hope I can get there one of the weekends that you're doing it. So, because I really want to sit there in the audience and see you do your thing. With that being said, thank you, Amber. Ladies and gentlemen, Amber Monique. I am very honored to have her on the show. She's out. Where you at right now? Are you in LA?
Yeah, the West Coast, the West Coast.
Cause you be everywhere. I had to ask you where you at. Once again, I'm Wardell Richardson, actor, producer, director, right here on WCEGWood, Hollywood of the South, CEO of Rain Dance Film. Make sure you go and follow Rain Dance Film, and also follow WCEGWood, the Hollywood of the South, on Facebook. We are doing some big things and enjoying every moment of it. So please keep in touch. And once again, you know, I am going to do a show about my experience in Africa. I'm still getting all the pictures and everything from it. But I will be putting up a post with a website that you can go to and give money to that mission that I went to. They really need some help. Do you know that it's only $50 a year for kids to go to school there, and most of them can't afford to go to school? It's a whole nother world out there. That's all I can say. But with that being said, thank you again, Amber. And I will see you guys again in 2 weeks with my next guest right here on WCEGWood, the Hollywood of the South. Peace.